Did you know there was a nice word, a brothel in Oakdale?
I've heard about it. Is it?
A huge place.
Was it at the end of Dale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right where that little shopping center is, it was a big 3-story building. I used to work in there.
Wait, you worked in the brothel?
Yeah.
And what was your role?
I was basically,
Boy, you really had an interesting career.
You had more jobs than I did.
basically I was going to clean out the cellar or take out garbage stuff. I was just a kid.
Like a maintenance
Would they give you
person.
cash? I'm sure it was a cash job.
But when I was a little old, everybody went to the bar. It was a good bar. And a couple times I was in there, and the sheriff, I think it was the sheriff, Phil Corso, became sheriff of Suffolk County. At the time, he was some kind of big honcho on the sheriff's. I remember she closed the door after closed. She locked the door. One time we were all sitting in there. Crashed the door, come blasting open. Here comes all the cops with sledgehammers. Because she had pinball machines and stuff that actually gave money out, which is illegal. They come in, they just smashed them all to pieces, took her away in handcuffs.
Oh, she had gambling too.
Yeah.
Well, it's pinball.
Well, but they slot machine, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But everybody went there because all the women, if they wasn't working, was hang out in the bar,
Yeah.
It was a very popular place.
You get a freebie.
They were all trying.
Now,
What was the name of that place?
The LaSalle Hotel.
The LaSalle Hotel.
and who was the madam?
Mimi.
Mimi.
She was married to a captain in the army. He was in Germany. at the time.
Convenient.
Oh, so was this during World War II?
No. This was, oh man, I don't know what it was. But it was after
What?
After
So
56.
this Mimi, when she got busted that one time, did she come back and do her
No.
thing again, or that was the end of
Oh,
her?
it made big headlines in the news.
Oh,
The town, I don't think none of the women in the town even know it was there. Only the men knew, Nobody's not home
yeah.
until their wife did drinking in it.
Right. Yeah.
So it was LaSalle Hotel. We might be able to find that article then in Newsday, because 1940 on we have.
After that, after they busted her, I guess they locked her up. It became Luigi's Gypsy Fiddle.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Oakdale never heard of such a thing.
How many prostitutes did they have upstairs there?
Only about 6.
Oh,
And they
that's
would-
probably pretty good for the.
They were not really good looking at all. One was called Fat Choni. Another one was about 60. They're really low class.
It was like a social security plan for her,
Oh, geez.
except for this one girl.
It was a real low
George.
EHS operation. It was-
Yeah. But was it like, did it run for many years, or was it just like a couple of years? And
I'd say she got
everybody
away with it for about 4 or 5 years.
Right.
How smart this woman was. And by the way, she was gorgeous.
Mimi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people wanted to hang out at the bar because she was the bartender.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't get involved with nobody.
Yeah.
She was just strictly business.
Yeah.
Back at the time, Central Islip State Hospital, mental, you could take some of their people out. Not the real bad ones, but I don't know how you explain it. But you could hire them to be like a housekeeper or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and the state would pay you X amount of money as long as you kept these people and fed them.
Oh, they lived with you.
Yeah, they didn't commute. I think they lived up there. But she had one was a cook, one was the cleaner, and this other poor one. You ever hear her play a piano?
Yeah.
Well, this other woman, all day long, she'd sit at this thing, just pump the pedals, make the piano play.
She must have strong calves.
Oh my gosh, how she could do it, I don't know.
But she was a mental patient.
Yeah, all she did was pump the pedal all day.
Did you feel like Mimi exploited them? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? So she was beautiful but mean.
It was all money.
Well,
If
was
she had to pay them, she doesn't have to pay them. All she has to do is feed them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's getting paid.
Yeah.
So she's getting labor and she's getting money from the state all at the same time. I'd say she wasn't stupid.
Were they unhappy being there?
I don't think they knew the
Was Mimi an American?
German.
Or she was a German woman? Interesting. Crazy. But her husband was an American soldier.
He's a captain in Germany. That's probably how he met her in Germany or something.
Right.
How she wound up in Oakdale.
Yeah.
So you never heard from her after that raid?
Well, she went to jail. I don't know whatever happened after that.
She had a good lawyer and got off and started her business
No
elsewhere.
problem.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if you dug up that article. You could
That would be interesting. I
talk
can't
about-
wait.
Talk about Oakdale history. Yeah.